no way. Ain't no way. I'm stunned. What the hell? Bitch, let's get into it. Hi guys, welcome to a video. I don't know, that sounded so cringe. Anyways, Ginny and Georgia season 3 just dropped. Well, not just. This is some weeks after. But I just wanted the hype to die down a little bit. The hype is still there, definitely. But damn, this is my show, like literally, and I've been waiting for them to drop the season. And I finished the season yesterday, and yeah, we have some things to discuss because this season did not come to play. It did not disappoint. Like I feel like I was on an emotional roller coaster throughout this whole show. Throughout this whole season. Like, yeah. So just a recap, Ginny and Georgia first premiered in 2021. And honestly, when I first saw Ginny and Georgia, I did not watch the first season. I got interested in the show in season 2, which premiered in early February 2023, I believe. Yeah, so like, you know, nowadays these streaming shows, they take a while to like release a next season, unfortunately. But that's just how it works in this day and era. I'm not too much of a fan of that method. You know, like bring back the days where, you know, we could get 24 episodes. But I know the industry have changed a lot, like with all these things, like it's a lot. So in the first season, we first are introduced to Ginny and Georgia, like which I can't talk. Anyways, so in the first season, we are basically introduced to the two leads of the show, Ginny and Georgia, which is a mother and a daughter. Ginny, the daughter, Georgia, the mom, and basically, they are a dysfunctional family, as well as Austin, which is the younger brother of Ginny. So Georgia has 2 kids, and we see them in the opening scene where they are now coming into like Wellsbury, Massachusetts, I think that it's certain. But anyways, they are now coming to this new town. They are starting afresh. They're looking for like a new life, and we basically get as the audience that this family has been moved around quite a lot, right? It's never been stable. They have never been in one place for too long, right? But Georgia intends to stay here for a while. Also too, it's kind of implied, I can't remember in which episode in season 1, that Joe, which we'll talk about soon enough, but he's a main character in the show, and it's kind of implied that him and Georgia, when they were young, they knew each other basically, and I think Georgia tracked him down. I may be forgetting a bit, but yeah, okay, it's kind of implied that, you know, she moved to this town because possibly for Joe, you know. Yeah, so they start fresh, they got a new school, all of these things. Now Georgia is very charismatic, and she knows her way how to charm people, but soon enough we found out that the reason why Georgia left where she was at is because she's freshly a widow. Her husband died, and how did he die? Well, she murdered him. Right now, she murdered him on the premise of protecting Ginny. That doesn't negate the fact that she did kill the man. She's hiding him up, you know, she's hiding these secrets and all kind of thing. Like, we noticed that Georgia has a lot of secrets, and there's a lot that Ginny, her own daughter, doesn't even know about her mother. So that the first season is like Ginny finding out things about her mother. Like, why are you so secretive? Like, you murdering people, like, you know, all of that. And I know this fandom hates on Ginny a lot. I'm gonna get into all of that soon enough, but I'm glad the season like come out to like kind of justify the things that how Ginny was behaving. Like, honestly, if I find out these things about my mother, who I know about, like, I'm turning 21 this year, so like 20 years approximately, I live in this woman, and I know knowing that she's a murderer, I would act the same way too. Yeah, because what? You know, and you hiding all these secrets. Yeah, it's a lot. I feel like people were too hard on Ginny, and then too, the girl is 15 years old. Imagine being 15 and finding out all of this. Like, you would act the same way too for a change. Yeah, so like that's that. But in the first season, though, there is a private investigator, and this private investigator is the ex-wife, like the first wife of Georgia's ex-husband, because he's now deceased. Basically hired a private investigator because she believes, it's suspicious that Georgia got everything. She believed that Georgia killed him, which she did. She poisoned him and he got a massive heart attack, right? Georgia, of course, she's very conniving. She knows how to cover her tracks very well until she isn't. In season 2, we see a bit more dynamic between Ginny and Georgia. I think Georgia... so where did I left off? Anyway, so yes. So basically, we see a bit more dynamic of the relationship between Ginny and Georgia, and it gets a little bit toxic. I think in this season 2, Ginny starts therapy. She opens up to her mom about Georgia actually finds out about Ginny self-harming, and yeah, that's a lot. We see Marcus in this episode. Oh my god, he is suffering with batshit depression, like totally. And at the end of the season 2, Georgia, who is dating Paul Randolph, who is the mayor of Wellsbury, the town that they are in, they are getting married or whatever. So they were dating and flirting throughout season 1. I think season 2 is when they really get together or something like that. And marriage, all of that, and at the wedding, ding 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 ding, Georgia gets arrested. She is arrested for killing Tom Fuller. Yes, in this season, if you don't know who Tom Fuller is, basically Tom Fuller is the husband of one of the ladies in town, which is Cynthia. Cynthia is kind of an important lady in the town, like she's one of those like nosy neighbors. And essentially, her husband Tom, he is on hospice care. If you don't know what a hospice care is, it's basically, he was basically a vegetable. Like, he was suffering. And Georgia and I think Cynthia, they have a weird dynamic in the show. Like, they were definitely frenemies. The two women that they basically don't like each other. But we see, like, in season 2, when Cynthia eventually finds out about, Gail's abuse towards Georgia, she kind of, like, sympathizes with Georgia. They still don't really like each other, for real, but, like, she could kind of find it, and she had to, protect Georgia in a way. So they have this interesting frenemy relationship. The only friend that Georgia has in Ginny and Georgia is really Jo, as well as Ellen. Yeah, shout out to Ellen. She be holding Georgia down. So this man is basically suffering. Cynthia, she kind of shares or reveals to Georgia that, this is taking a toll on her and her son Zach, who is Austin, which is Georgia's son, Georgia's youngest son, youngest child, her son, yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, she reveals that this is taking a toll on them, like anybody would. It's very emotional, So Georgia takes it upon herself to take him out, if you know what I mean. Just, and she didn't even cut the cords or anything. Like, if you wanted to do that, like, she feels like this would be a thank you. In the twisted mind of Georgia Miller, she felt like this would be a thank you towards Cynthia, or like to help her out. Like, so she had good intentions of doing it. But in my opinion, this was not upon you, girl. Like, girl, no. This was not your choice to make. And I honestly thought when she did it, that she wasn't going to be, like, captured. I mean, yeah, we did see Austin. He saw his mom with her, like, Tom Fuller. But, like, I didn't think Cynthia... I think it was actually, like, the medical report showed that he was murdered and suffocated. So, like, damn. Like, I honestly didn't think she would, like, get caught. Like, damn, Georgia, like, why you have to do this? Like, I was so mad at Georgia for this. Like, no. Like, that was not your place to do that. Anyways, so basically, going into season 2, season 2 finish. Georgia's arrested at their wedding, in the middle of their wedding, literally. Season 3 opens up with a bang of Georgia being in jail. Yeah, she's in jail. And I have notes for all of the characters in this show. From worst to least. Actually, I love a lot of the characters in this show. But yeah, so the main character list is Ginny, Georgia, Austin, Marcus, Maxine, the Bakers, which is Ellen, and the dad. I can't remember the dad's name, sorry. Abby, Nora, Paul, Joe, Zion, Gil, Cynthia, Wolf. That's a new character. So those are kind of the main characters for this season, as well as Lynette, Simone. Anybody I'm missing? Okay, no. So basically, I have notes here, and I'm gonna read out my notes. Of course, with the side characters being Prez, Padma, and Hunter, which we're gonna talk about. I don't really care to, but yeah. Brescia, Byron, Sophie, Silva. She's kind of a new character too. But like I think in season 2, Max had like a big crush on her. Like when does she ever not have a big crush? Anyway, so basically, yeah, let's get into it. So from episodes like 1 to 4, basically Georgia, she is in jail at first in the opening episode. I keep saying season. Anyway, episode. And basically we see Georgia learns to battle the thought of her actually going to prison. Like that scares her. Like yeah, that scares her. Like that can't happen at all. Eventually she is released, and she's released on house arrest. So yeah, she's technically being monitored with an anklet bracelet, and she can't leave the perimeters of her house after a certain meter. And we see the thing of the trial and all of that. So starting with Georgia. My notes. She realizes the consequence of her action, finally realizes that even if her actions were done with good intent, it was still evidently bad. And it does affect her kids. Both of them, both Ginny and Austin. We see her take accountability in ways though that she never has before. The constant running, moving, lying, scheming, etc., and that she wants to stop. We see that she finally acknowledges, well, maybe this is the end of the line for me. Like, maybe this is an opportunity for me to, like, change my life around. Yeah, like, because I've been doing this for a while now. We see her struggle. We see her struggle with the battle of losing her kids and how much they mean to Georgia. Like, if it's one thing about Georgia, those kids mean something to her, like, literally. And one of my favorite scenes, and I'm going to talk about honorable scenes, because this season, they were acting their asses off. Like, give them their Emmys. Yeah, like, the scene where, spoiler alert, where CPS takes away the kids from Georgia. Oh my God, that was so high. I was like, oh my, like, after everything Georgia does, I still root for her. Now, I'm not excusing her behavior because, girl, like, you just out here killing people. Like, yes, we know your first husband, Anthony Green. We're gonna get into that too, but come on. Like, Tom Fuller, that was so unnecessary to bring up on yourself. Like, let this man go in peace. Although he was suffering. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Anyways, so basically, we see that she genuinely does love them. Everything she does stems from a place of wanting to protect them, even if it's twisted. Even if she goes about it in uneventful ways. She admits that she needs therapy later down in the season. She could have done things better while also doing the best she knew how to with the cards she was dealt with. So Georgia, at the end of the season, what I really like about Georgia, she actually says, you know what? I think I need therapy. I think maybe I messed my kids up. Maybe my kids are becoming like me, and that is scary. Yeah. I think Georgia, like, she had so much, like, she was like this, literally like this. All the characters were like this in this season. Now, my notes for Ginny. So we see Ginny does make some growth. She's able to express herself more, as well as, you know, deal with self-harm and the issue of that in her life better. Her dynamic with her mother has gotten way better. Honestly, this season, this is the best I've ever seen Ginny and Georgia together. Like, their mother-daughter dynamic is like chef kiss. Like, chef kiss. And yes, it's still hard, it still has difficult scenes, but I feel like how Georgia dealt, especially with Ginny's pregnancy, like she wanted to like literally cut her head off, but like eventually she sees that, wait, this was once me. And yes, Ginny did decide to like get an abortion. I have my own personal feelings on, but I loved how Georgia like dealt with that situation, and while she was in control of the situation, she allowed Ginny to still make the decision, you know. And she didn't like beat her down. Like, why beat somebody down when they're already down? Like, I love that about Georgia. I love that. We also see that Ginny admits that she does need her mom. So all the haters, like this fandom, Ginny and Georgia really doesn't like Ginny. Like, especially like I understand. But as I said at the beginning of this video, like, if you had found out all of these things about your mother, and yes, Ginny has seen different sides of Georgia, but like when she found out that she murdered her first husband, second husband, and like especially the third man, which is Tom Fuller, like, that's like, what? Like, why would you do that, you know? So she found out her mom has secrets of her own. Moving on, next character, Austin. Oh my god, Austin. I feel for this baby so bad. Okay, he is also deeply affected by the thought of losing their mom to prison. He's just a kid and deals with the nasty stares of the public and evidently feels singled out. So yes, so from like season 1, episode 1 to 4, Ginny as well as Austin, they still have to go to school, they still have to live their normal lives. And well, it's kind of hard to do that, but they did do it. But like, obviously people, they are like the talk of the town, people staying at them evidently. So I like this episode where Max is like, what, you have a problem, like one of the person from school was like targeting Ginny. The reporters are trying to get comments out of them. And also, so side note, I do not like this lawyer they got for Ginny. Like, I feel like he was so unserious. Like, the way he was presenting the case and stuff, like, I understand you're trying to make Jordan seem like upright and stuff like that, but I feel like he had the wrong approach, and that is why Margaret Simone, we're gonna talk about her later, right? Because the body Simone, she fixed it. But yeah, we see that he struggles with the stares of the media and like being the talk of the public. On top of that, he deals with missing his mom when being in the custody of his dad, while still starting to like the fact that his dad, also troubled, is around and active in his life. So if you don't know, Gil, who is Austin's dad, you know, he like went to prison and then he came back in like season 2, and well, yeah, he's around, and he makes it evidently clear that he wants to be in Austin's life. He wants me in Austin's life. Georgia, of course, in the earlier season, she did not want this because it's like, why you come back after all these years? And we know that he's manipulative now. We know that he's conniving. We know that he's very abusive. We know that the things that he has done to Georgia. And honestly, I understand that is Austin's dad, but I did not like him in the care of him. And that's why I have beef with Paul. Like, Paul is a character this season that just went pew for me in the time. In like, I did not like Paul this season at all, but I will get to that shortly. So yeah, in the end, we see that he had to make a decision that no kid should ever make: his mom or his dad side. Though we see that he ultimately chooses his mom over his dad, he still needs his dad and misses him. I feel like at the end of this video, I'm gonna make a Terry. Like, I feel like that really messed her. Like, that's so sad. That's so sad. Like, that's so sad. Like, Austin has been through it. Like, we talk about Ginny all the time because she's obviously the lead, but like Austin too. Like, this household, I feel all of them should go to therapy. Yeah, which I feel like in season 4, I feel like they are going to let Austin go to therapy because he needs therapy and he's supposed to be 9. By the way, a side note, Austin's actor grew so much. Like, that's the thing about waiting 2.5 years to like release a show. Like, I understand, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes of production, but Like, these things just happen. You know, these things happen all the time. Right, so the next character that we're going to move on to is Marcus. Boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. So, you know, in season 2, you know, we touched upon Marcus having like a depressive episode. He is not doing good. He's not doing good. Now, in this season, he's supposed to be like healing and, you know, getting better. His parents, by the way, I love his family, like his family dynamic. I really do. I also love, like, the main reason too, I feel like they write his family in such a different way. Like, I've never seen like a family actively on TV like be represented by ASL, American Sign Language, or sign language. Like, I've never seen that ever before. So I feel like that was like a really added touch, and it shows that, you know, different families, not everybody is able to speak, like, you know, I just like that representation, for real. Yeah, so he's failing to do so. He's getting worse day by day, and because of, well, you know, we know he has depression, but like in this season we see that he starts to turn to alcohol, and that boy, he's basically a functioning alcoholic. Yeah, he's going to school with alcohol, he's partying, getting pissed out drunk. And I just feel so bad for his mom, because all his mom wants to do is like help him. But then too, I'm gonna get to the mom just now, like Ellen, like I feel like she did her best, but like I didn't think like she handled it like the way I would have, because I feel like it was kind of unfair to Maxine to put all of this on her. Coming up soon though. So we see that how his depression and alcoholism, functional alcoholism, affects his school life. He's failing school. He has to go to like summer school, I think, in the last episode. We also see that this affects his love life and his dynamic with Ginny. And Ginny is the only person that Marcus has ever opened up to. Like, yes, him and Maxine are twins, but we see that though they are twins, they are very much different. Like, he is like Black Cat vibes, and Max is like, you know, and even in, like, yeah, like, you know, so he knows that he still wants to be involved with Ginny, but he just lies to her and tells her like, no, I don't love you like that, I don't like you like that, you know, like. And honestly, I want them to work out, but at the same time, I feel like Marcus, he needs to be okay first. Like, he needs to be okay. Like, I didn't. And the scene from the last episode where he breaks down to his parents and says that he hates himself. Like, I tell you, the actors in this show, give them an Emmy award one time, because like he acted his ass off in that episode, in that scene. So of course this causes tension with Ginny as often, yeah. So they have this kind of the fallout, the make back up, the fallout, and in season 5, I keep saying episode 5, Ginny kind of has a love interest in this season, another one, and yeah, it was kind of awkward. Oh. I actually love the awkwardness of it all, and it was like showing so realistic. Like, yeah. Moving on though to Maxine, which is Marcus's twin. So she is often seen as the twin and friend that's jolly, overzealous, and energetic. That's literally Max in a nutshell. She's always a person that is always good, showing out for others, taking care of them. The friend / child that you never have to fearfully worry about. And we see this dynamic with her parents. Like, Ellen is always worrying about Marcus. Like, is he okay? Like, is he this? Like, is he that? Da, da, da. And while she just... I don't think I've ever seen her checked up on, like, Max. Like, I don't think so. Like, Max is always... Because, I mean, that is how she presents herself, and that is who she is, actually. But we see that in this season 2... they gave Max a little more emotional in there, because honestly in season 1 and season 2 I did not like Max. I thought she was very annoying, and that's not, I get it, like she's an extrovert to her core, and I love that for her, But like I feel like she was so self-absorbed. Like the person who you all should have been hated on in season 1 was Max. Like she made everything about her. Like yeah. Yeah, I did not like Max. But this season I felt for Max. I felt for her because their friend group did her dirty. So this episode, this season basically, admittedly she can be in a lot. This is from the notes, right? Admittedly, she can be a lot in terms of dramatics and extroversion to many in her life who are preferably chill or more reserved, like her friend Abby. Sometimes being over self-centered as well. But despite this, she loves her friends and family and wishes to be there for them. However, she feels like nobody sees her, nobody sees her as a person with feelings too that is sometimes sad or down. So many feel like they can't relate to her and actively leaves her out of conversations and decisions that they feel she can't handle and will make about herself. As a result, she starts to feel ostracized by those around her. So, the whole blow up with the friend group, I can see both sides. I understand why Abby didn't want to tell her about her new relationship with Triz. Because, yes, we have seen in past episodes and in the past seasons, Max makes things about herself. She's very, like, oh my god, it's me. And I think it had this one scene in season 3 where Brayshaw, who is like a main character now in the show, Brayshaw and her boyfriend Byron were like together, whatever. And Max was like, oh my god, I love this so much. Like, I feel like I'm a part of it. And Brayshaw was like, no, you're not. Like, I kind of feel like she had to tell her off. But they were so mean to Max about it. Like, honestly, what I would give Max prop for, one, she was always there for Ginny. She was always there for Ginny. Even when Nora, who I have beef with, like, I understand Nora, but at the same time, like, girl, like, you don't even know all of the facts. Like, you know, like, the thing that I admire about Max was always there for Ginny. Like, yes, her mom is possibly a murderer on trial, but she never let that affect how she saw Ginny. And I really salute Max for that, because Nora allowed her perception of Ginny to be clouded by what is going on by the whole Georgia. However she feels about Georgia, she feels about Ginny. And I feel like it's like, nah, Max was really a real one for that. Also, too, all Max wanted to do, like, she felt like she's such a person with big feelings, and I feel like that is really one of her superpowers as well. But they were like, no, like, we don't want to talk about it. I feel like they were shutting her off, and also too, like, when she told her mom about this, I feel so bad because her mom literally tell her to dismiss her feelings. Like, Ellen, like, this is literally the girl who have the biggest feelings, and all she just wanted to do was be heard out. Like, they were so cool to her. And also to the season, I can't talk, bitch. Anyway, the scene at the end where Ginny literally says to Max, well, it's okay that we grew apart. That was so cool, because Max is literally trying to talk to you as a friend. She's literally trying to express how she feels about the whole thing, and you all are just blowing her off. Now, I understand Abby's character makes more sense to be that cold towards Max, because especially what happened in the earlier seasons when they were kind of excluding Abby and they didn't, like, you know, like, I understand that part. But like, yeah, like, Ginny, like, that was so cool. That was so rude. I mean, see a foreshadowing there of something that you can probably guess. So yeah, this season, Max, you got more points for me, and I really like where the story headed for. I really like where the writing went. Like, they show a little more insight into Max. Like, she's just not all about the bright glitz and glamour. And also to the flashbacks in the show, we know Georgia's flashback to, like, her younger self, the actress, top tier. Like, yeah, but I feel like when they saw, like, the younger Max, they actually look like how Max would look now. The younger Abby looks like how Abby would look now in the show. Like, whoever is the casting agent of these actors, love it, hands on. Now, moving on to the bakers. I put them as the bakers, but these are really the parents. Ellen, mostly. Um, so Ellen, the mom, struggles with the startup of her friendship with Georgia and where they stand amidst the murder trial. She doesn't know how to deal with Georgia possibly being a murderer and if she's even guilty of such accusations or innocent. Additionally, she and the dad struggles with the family dynamics at home with both their kids, especially Marcus. Yeah. Marcus is putting them through World War. With being a great family and in a loving relationship, this is a struggle for their family. She finds it hard to even harshly admit that Marcus needs a more advanced form of help, like rehab/therapy, for the sake of not wanting him to fall behind or just struggling to realize that the situation is as bad as it is. So that's what I have in my notes for her. Yeah. Ellen, I really like how Ellen is with her parenting. Now, certain things I feel like she's too, how would I call it, like soft parenting with. But like, I feel like in this season, it gives me the vibes that I don't want to say she's ashamed to put Marcus in rehab, but like, it's given that, like, honestly, because you telling me you have money, the resources, and access to like therapy for your son to get better, and you are not putting him in it. Like, you just like, oh well, no, Max, you just have to be there for. I'm sorry to say, but Max is also a child. Like, she's literally 60. Like, this is her brother, and I feel like his alcoholism problems is way bigger, like too much for this child to bear. Like, this girl should not be dealing with this next, like, it's too much. And I feel like they did Max dirty by putting that all on her. Like, I understand that is her brother and she has to look out for, like, they are literally twins and they would like look out for each other, but like, that was too much. Also, too, going back to Max, I like that Max did the right thing by selling him out. I don't even think it's selling him out. Like, she literally just said, you know what, he needs help. And yes, Marcus was vexed with Max for that, but that is not her fault. Marcus, you need help. And Ellen, you need to get your son some help. So I like that in the last episode, we see Marcus is evidently going off to therapy. And I just hope in season 4, I want to see where they go with his story. I would really like to see in season 4 a smile from Marcus, like a genuine smile. I just want him to be happy because he's been going through it from season 1 and we're on season 3 now. Like, he needs a happy ending. Like something. Yeah. But that's just the reality of life. Now, Abby, who is actually my favorite character. And we know, like, in season 1 and in season 2, we didn't see much of Abby. And I feel like, honestly, the writers listened this time because Abby's story is so much more complex. Like, we see that she struggles with, like, an eating disorder. And she has she's not even possibly but bulimic, but she is bulimic. And, yeah, we see that she struggled with it. And, like, I feel like the writers listened to the audience. I was like, you know what? You want to see more of Abby? We will put her in more. And I love that she got more screen time. So while we see more insight on both Abby's bulimia and family dynamic, yeah, we did see that. We see that she's still somewhat closed off at the thought of opening up. Specifically about the bulimia part, she does grow much closer to Ginny this season, and I love their friendship. Like, yes, while Mang, the group, was falling apart, Ginny and Abby, as well as Nora to some extent, but Nora, for the most of the season, was kind of against Ginny, and she was kind of like moving fake. Well, not fake, I would say. Like, I respect her feelings towards Ginny, but like at the same time, I don't agree because it's like, that's your friend, bro. That's your friend. That's literally your friend. And yeah, I don't feel like you were supporting Ginny at all. I don't feel like, yeah, you was kind of being a little shitty there. Anyways, yeah, so Abby and Ginny is closer in this season. Love their dynamic. I love that Abby's actually letting Ginny in. She actually takes her to like the dinner with her dad and her like possible stepmom. And we see that she has a dialogue with her mom in this, like how she's handling the divorce. And I think both of her parents are therapists. So I feel like that's a spin on it, because you would expect that somebody who has access to therapy actually do therapy, right? And we see in that same case with Marcus is not always. We see that these problems, intense problems as this, yes, you have access to it, but it still is an issue that you can possibly face. I like that touch on it. Yeah, so we see that she and Ginny is closer, opening up more about her mom and dad's divorce and her feelings towards it. We also see that she finds some worth in herself by backing off of dickhead Prez. I don't like that character at all. Prez is such a... but I get it. His character is written to be like that. However, though, like that episode where he was like, yo, Ginny, I heard your mom's a murderer. Like, can't she murder my gym teacher so that I don't have to go to gym? That was kind of funny. Yeah, and stepping into a much more deserving romance with Triz. Okay. We also see that she doesn't find much enjoyment with sharing her relationship details out loud, especially with Max. And I know why, because I feel like Max is the type of person, like, when she had found that, like, I respect Abby for not telling Max at the same time. Like, I respect Abby, I understand where they're coming from, but like, how you go is not what you do, is how you do it sometimes, right? It's like, yeah, you don't want to tell Max, because we know Max could be big and loud, and Abby is more of like a private person, and she doesn't really like feel like share what she feels anyways. So like, I feel like Max could have respected that in a bit way. I really want to see where their friendship goes in season 4, and I hope that Max comes to a conclusion. I feel like we see that in this season where she realizes not everybody is like you. Not everybody wants to be big, loud, and all over the place. Like, not everybody is an extrovert, right? Some people just want to be chill, more relaxed, and more, within themselves. And I feel like Max has to really respect her friends for that, and just respect people in general for that. So I think in a way, yes, I feel for Max, like, I will still stand 10 times down that she was did dirty this season. I do think that yeah, Max, this was a learning moment for her, and I hope she really learns from this. Next character, Nora. So Nora doesn't sugarcoat her feelings towards the murder trial of Georgia, and even expresses that she feels like Georgia is guilty. She flat out says, yeah, her mom's a murderer, like, obviously. This, of course, makes her friendship dynamic with Ginny feel a little strained. Feels like her perception towards Ginny look negatively different, or because of her mom. Okay, if you can understand that, yeah, we between the lines. Yeah, I was writing these notes like during the show, so yeah. So yeah, Georgia feels how she feels about Ginny because of Nora feels about Ginny, how she feels about Nora. Nora feels exactly how she feels towards Ginny because of Georgia. Yeah, Georgia is a murderer, so she feels Ginny, yeah, she just stay away from her. However, though, we see, like, in the later season, I think it's season 7, episode 7, sorry, I keep seeing season, and I keep seeing these things too, like, no, okay, just know what I mean, okay? I think in episode 7, I can't remember what episode it was, they did have a little bonding moment where both Nora and Ginny, and I think this started by when Ginny did a nice thing. Nora did a nice thing for Ginny when she invited Ginny over to the play date with Zach and Austin, because Nora babysits Zach, who is Cynthia's son, and we know the dynamic there. This is literally the kids of the mom that took your husband out, so Cynthia don't really want Zach hanging around, with them. But at this time they were like separated by CPS, so Ginny couldn't really like see her big brother. And I love Ginny and Austin's relationship, and which I am so sad that in possibly season 4, like, their relationship would be damaged, because is so cute. Like he's so cute. Like he's so cute. Anyways, yeah, so she really did a nice thing like that by making her like Ginny and her brother hang out a bit one-on-one without the supervision of like CPS. Paul, before I start, hold on. Yeah, so Paul, sir, I have beef with you. So basically, Paul is the same old Paul. Well, for the first half of the season, like the first like thirds of the season, like he's normal. He's showing up to court. He has a lawyer for Georgia. But then Nick, you are a dick. Anyways, but then Nick at his office is like putting things in Paul's head to manipulate him against Georgia, to make him essentially turn on her. And I am surprised by how fast Paul takes up to this, like how fast he falls into this trap and actually turns against Georgia. Like as I said, I understand all of these character sides. I understand why Paul is acting the way he does, because it's like I'm joking. Anyways, alright, I understand. Like on his side, like of his job, it looks bad. It does. You are the mayor of a town and you are evidently linked, married to a person that possibly murdered somebody and is on trial for that. So it does look bad. However, I thought Paul and Georgia had a deeper connection. Like, I don't know if I was delusional. I don't know, because I do like them together, honestly. And I know some people like the Joe and the Georgia. But I was for the Paul and the Georgia. And what I'm saying, guys, like, Paul, you lost big points with me. Yeah, so what I have for him in our notes is like we see him being the best support he can be for Georgia and the kids until he isn't. Until he straight up abandons Georgia. Like, damn, I'm choking still. Okay. He like everyone else struggles with the possibility of Georgia being guilty of murder. He quickly worries about his job as mayor, and with the help of a manipulative Nick the Dick, battles the decision of divorcing her. So yes, we see that their relationship quickly on the rocks. He started to distance himself from her, and at one point he moved out the house, and then he moved back into the house, all because why? Yeah, Nick. But I feel like Georgia, well, you was wrong, eh? You was wrong for lying to Paul about that pregnancy. You don't lie about those kind of stuff. But I understand why. But I don't think you were right for that. If you want to leave, let him leave. Let him leave. Let him leave. Because he already showed where he stand with you. You know, so... yeah, you were completely wrong for that. Now, in that whole argument with Georgia and Paul, like, I'm so shocked. Like this is why I'm so disappointed in Paul, because it's like, you know about her past with Gil, and how dare you raise your hand to smack the wall behind her. Like, that was too much. That was too much, and he took it way too far, bro. He took it way too far. Like, we know, Georgia, you're wrong, but Paul, I was just disappointed. I disappointed with you. Like, you're supposed to know better, bro. You're supposed to know better. Like, come on now. Moving on to Joe. I wanna be your end game. I wanna be your fast lane. Anyways, so apparently, from the reactions I've gotten to Joe, he is endgame. Honestly though, I am not for the ship with Georgia and Joe. Joe is a good guy. Like, he's really a really good guy. Like, he's actually one of my favorite. I'm lying. He's not one of my favorite characters, but he is a good guy. Yeah, he's upstanding. He's honest. He's this. He's that, and he's fine too. I just don't find, like, I don't know. I still have it though for Paul and Georgia, but like after how Paul reacted, I might just give Joe and Georgia ship a seal, because I might jump on his ship, because Joe didn't do anything wrong. Joe supports Georgia. He did kind of, through it all, like, he never judged her. He genuinely tried to understand. And I feel like where Paul and Georgia went wrong, one, obviously Georgia was lying to him. But two, I feel like Paul, literally, like in that scene where they were arguing, when Georgia said, I can't trust you, I feel like Georgia feels like she can't be herself around Paul. Like, yeah, I feel like that is the problem. I feel like that is where they went wrong. Georgia, I feel like she can't open up to him, like how she opens up to Joe, which is so sad. But anyway, Joe, what I said, he is a knight in shining armor, might I say. While at first keeping his distance from Georgia because of the unresolved feelings for her, because, in the earlier episodes of the season, Georgia and Paul was going strong. So you don't want to, like, complicate things and be like, oh. And I think in season 2, he did kind of say that he has feelings for her, like that was implied. So Joe stands with her true and true. He doesn't excuse her actions. Like with Joe, he doesn't excuse it, but understands it. When finding out what Gil did to Georgia, and I love this moment with Joe, like, Joe, you punch. I laugh so hard. Like, Gil, I don't care about Gil. Like, Gil could just delete in my opinion. Like, I mean, I don't want to be violent towards him, but like, I don't care for Gil. He is Austin's dad, I know, but like, it's hard to care for Gil. It's hard. Like, your name is Gil. No disrespect to the girls out there. I love you guys. But anyways, so when finding out what Gil did to Georgia, he literally punched Gil. I found that was so funny. Like, yes, that was such a boss ass move right there. And honestly, I did see that I did see Georgia and Joe sleeping together and hooking up. Like, I did see that coming. Like, as soon as I saw him, like, at her house doing this, doing that, like, I was like, yeah, I feel like something here, like, my tingling senses were like, ding, 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 ding. I feel like they're gonna have, like, a hookup. Especially when Paul was out of the house, yeah. I kind of put 2 and 2 together with that. No, that hookup led to a possible consequence that we're going to discuss at the end, but, Zion, you two, in this season, I did not like you. I did not like you at all. So let's just read from the notes before I had to just read from my thoughts, and at the moment, I just don't have nice feelings towards this man. Just like Paul. So basically, just like everyone else, the details of Georgia's past is new to him as well, but Zion kind of knew certain things, but of course, Georgia being Georgia did not tell him everything. So, especially like when the PI in episode 5 about there, went and took the stand, and he basically said like, oh my god, like, Georgia is a serial killer. Like, he literally calls her the serial killer and the mayor's murderess. Kind of slang kind of came about, whatever. So Zion, after he heard it, he is pissed. He is livid. He is like, like, this is what you have been doing. Like, this, like, he literally hassles Ginny, right, to tell him what happened. So, like, sure, he knows that she had a tough upbringing and knew about her stepdad inappropriate interfering, if you know what I mean, of her body parts as a child. He doesn't know the in-depth details about the life Georgia, Ginny, as well as Austin actually lived. He didn't know that. He always saw Georgia in a way that, we know you have a tough upbringing and stuff, but like, he just didn't know how dark it really was. The constant moving around, being on the run, the instability, and of course, the unaliving and notorious actions that Georgia took part in. He, like Gil, takes their kids from Georgia and leaving them to grapple with his effect. So basically, Gil went to Zion's place, and I don't know how, of course, like, how, why would you team up with somebody like Gil? Like, I understand this makes Georgia look very bad. It makes it look dangerous, but I feel like out of the both parents, Zion, you're supposed to be better than this. You're supposed to understand Georgia by now. Like, Georgia loves Ginny with everything within her. Like, why would you take her from her? This really pissed me off. This really. You just see Zion, you kind of break my heart. And also, too, back to Paul. I feel like this happened because not only did Paul leave the house, but like okay. So Paul, back to Paul, because I just beef with him. Like, if he didn't move out the house, it would have given Georgia such a stronger look to like like not to like take the kids, because I just did not like it. I just didn't like it. Like, Zion, you really disappoint me. Like, why would you team up with Gil? Gil ain't no shit. I mean, he knows a little bit, but like, he ain't no shit. So basically, Zion also has his mother in this season, as well as his girlfriend from season 2. I think her name is Simone. Yeah, Simone the body. Yeah, Simone the body. I love Simone. And I actually ship them. Yeah, I think they make a good couple. They're stable. They're healthy. Yeah, love that for them. So Lynette, and I have Lynette and Simone in the same bracket for some reason. Lynette, who is Zion's mother, shares a complex relationship with Georgia, but evidently we see her put her differences with Georgia aside and be supportive of her. I love this. I loved Lynette, which is Ginny's grandmother, and Georgia's dynamic this season. Like, we know like things wasn't too smooth with them and because they literally wanted to take Ginny when she was a baby, which I could kind of see why, because I feel like if they had taken her, Ginny would have possibly had the chance of a more stable upbringing. But at the same time, Georgia is her mother, and I understand Georgia wanting to be a part of her daughter's life. So I feel like she felt like her autonomy of raising her daughter on her own, or just raising her daughter in general, was kind of like threatened. So Georgia was never really like here for it, you know. But I feel like Lynette is a great grandmom. Like, she's a good grandmother. Like, she loves Ginny. I feel like, yeah, she loves Ginny. Yeah. And it's actually this scene where Georgia is feeling like she's better off without her kids, and Lynette is there to comfort her. I just love that. Like, oh my god, like, that was another tough scene too. Like, I tell you, like, these scenes in this season was just. Next note, Simone is Zion's girlfriend from season 2, and I already talked about that. We see the trajectory of their relationship now. What I like, and I did say that Zion and Simone are healthy, and I do think they make a great match for each other. However, Zion, you need to let Georgia move. Like, and I love that Simone checked him for this, because there's this episode, I think it's episode 6, I can't remember, but in one of the episodes, Zion literally confesses his love for Simone. Like, who wouldn't? But he quickly makes some comment about Georgia, and that pisses Simone off, because it's like, why at this time, this romantic moment with my man, would I be bringing up my baby's mother? Like, you know, like, come on, Zion, like, read the room, bro, like, read the room, like, you know. And I feel like Simone is right in what she said. Like, yes, that is your baby mother, she would always have some kind of leverage, but I feel like it doesn't even have to like be a kind of leverage thing. It's just like nowhere to stand with Jordan. Either you love her or it's not, or like, you know, like, if you're wasting my girl Simone's time, like, scoop out of there. But I actually love you guys together, so stay a little bit, you know, get shit together. That's all I gotta say. So I like that she checked him on that, because it's like, you can't say you love me, but then you're having this woman have leverage over me. And I understand, like, Ginny is like, he never asked for Ginny. She never asked him to like put herself above Ginny. She just asked him that she would be put above Georgia, and that is evidently understood. Like, people who had like a problem with that, like, argue with your mama, because that's crazy. So I need to back his actions up with his words. Anyway, moving on to my least favorite character in this whole entire series, Gil. Like, nobody cares for Gil. I don't care for Gil. Actually, he's not my least favorite character. The least favorite character, like least liked character in the series, is Press, as well as Jordan. As well as Jordan and Nora's relationship. I don't care for Jordan and Nora's relationship. I feel like the writers in the show are trying to like push it, like, oh my god, Jordan and Nora, they're not interested. Like, they need to add some kind of law to their relationship for me to care. But I don't care. But anyway, Gail, you're pretty low down on the list of my liking. I don't like you. So what I have for Gil in my notes is he's still Gil. He's still abusive, still conniving, doesn't change one bit except for wanting to be in Austin's life, which I would give Jack his jacket. You know, like, I admire that about him. He wants to be in his son's life. That's the only thing. But I question, but because of his character, like, because of how, like, what I knew he did to Georgia, like, I don't know if he is the best person to raise Austin. And I know that's crazy to say because he is his dad and all, and he has rights, but like, I don't feel like Austin should be in his care. Because he is manipulative, like, literally, like, yeah. Because I know when he sees in the episode, one of the episodes, they were like, it's implied that he wouldn't hurt Austin, but because he is his son, but he did hurt Ginny, like, he bruised her arm. And I feel like if it could hurt the mother of your child as well as your child's half sibling, yeah, I feel like Austin is not good in your care because you don't have to do all of that. And yeah, that's my thoughts on Gil. And we see at the end that Austin betrays his dad by lying on him and putting him in prison. So literally, Gil get framed twice. And I hate to laugh, but honestly, I don't really mind Gil going to jail. I mean, is it wrong? Is it wrong? Yeah, it's wrong because he getting wrongfully convicted, but like, I don't mind him going to jail though, because I don't really care for his character. Like, honestly, nah. Moving on to Cynthia. Cynthia is a bag of chips. Like, she... You know who Cynthia reminds me of? Like, I don't know if you... Like, Desperate Housewives, like Brie Vanderkamp. She gives me a Walmart version of Brie Vanderkamp. I don't know, maybe it's just the red hair, but like, I think also too, like, the actress that plays Cynthia, she has the same mannerisms as Brie Vanderkamp, but we know Brie Vanderkamp, we stand Brie Vanderkamp. Like, yeah, Brie had her flaws, but like, this is not about Brie. Anyways, back to Cynthia. We see her take Georgia to trial for her husband's murder, and it's mostly consistent in how she feels towards Georgia and her claim, as well as the kids. So Cynthia is kind of consistent on how she feels towards both Georgia and her kids. Yeah, she doesn't want Austin hanging out with Zach. Like, all of that done. The only time they got to hang out together is because of what Nora did. Like, Nora literally, like, yeah, you know, that's how that happened. However, we see that she silently battles with forgiving the kids in spite of Georgia's actions. Now, there's this scene where, the same scene when I talk about with Gil, no good Gil, bruising Ginny arm, like, by roughing her up. I don't know if Cynthia was having like a Twilight moment, and she was like, she kind of like intervenes for her, and like, she's like, oh my god, like, what's happening here, you know, and that gives Ginny time to like run away from Gil. Then we see that she savors Austin's glasses when Gil throws it away, and that and tells him that he's essentially too old for the glasses. So it's like, moving on, Wolf is basically he's essentially a side character from Ginny's poetry class, but soon sparks a somewhat I can't speak again. soon spark somewhat of a romantic connection with Ginny. They then have fun for a while, like fooling around, and honestly, I was kind of here for it. I feel like why I was here for it because he's such a stark difference from Marcus. Like Marcus is always like depressed and I'm not making fun of Marcus in any way because I feel like his struggle is very much like complex. That's why I was so mad like at his mom for not getting him the help that he needs. Like this boy needs rehab, he needs therapy, he needs some kind of intervention because yeah. But yeah, I like Wolf. Yeah, I feel like they should keep him around in later seasons. I mean, him and Ginny didn't necessarily work out. Honestly, my boy Wolf, like that's wild. That's the only part I didn't like, but I feel like when he took on the date with like the boba tea, that was kind of cute. Like that was cute. That was really cute. But I don't know. I don't mind Wolf. He's okay. He's okay to me. He's okay to me. I don't mind him. But I don't think honestly like their relationship would ever be as deep as Marcus and Ginny because we see that Ginny, when she was talking to like Brayshaw on the stairs, like we see that Wolf is just like a fun time for Ginny, unfortunately, and to like a distraction from like how she feels about her and Marcus as well as at home. So yeah, I feel like Wolf, you just are wrong to have a good time. Yeah, but I don't mind it though because he just like a breath of fresh air. And he was actually really funny. Like, yeah, I was laughing. Okay, so what other notes do I have? The next note would be standout episode. My standout episode for me, like when things really got bubbling in the season, is episode 5. Like episode 5 blew me out the park. The CPS scene. What else happened in episode 5? The trial starts. Georgia's past come back to Hunter. The PI, which is the private investigator, he took the stand against Georgia, basically calling her a serial killer in front of everybody. And that evidently causes a negative perception of Georgia from the public as well as the court. This makes me honestly reminisce to Ginny's behavior. And that's why I keep saying like in the earlier entrance of the video, I understand why Ginny was acting how she was acting in the earlier video, in the earlier seasons, because if you find out all of this about your mother, like, and you're only 15 years old, like, I would act the same way. Like, people was calling she a brat, people was calling she rude, like, Georgia, like, yeah, like, no. Okay, Zion also finds about Georgia's groundbreaking past as shocking to him. Gail sees this, takes it as his advantage. Paul essentially starts to be manipulated by Nick in this episode and quickly distances himself from Georgia, drawing support away from her. He struggles with the thought of Georgia once again lying to him, using him, and possibly losing his job because of it. So within all of this, Paul, who is the mayor, he starts to like lose favor from the public. Like people are like, oh my god, like you married to a murderous, right? Sigh. He eventually moves out, and this of course makes the decision by Gil and Zion to call, like this kind of influences their position, like their decision to do this. And yeah, it's a whole blob. This whole episode. Also, too, Marcus meets Ginny new boyfriend or a boy toy, and they share this awkward moments. It's like, oh, you know, I kind of like that. The thing about this show that I really like, it deals with hard topics such as eating disorders, mental health, family dynamics, estranged relationships with family members. It deals with very harsh topics that people deal with in society, but like it have a humorous spin on it, because even when they was talking about Ginny's abortion, Jordan was like slipping in her joke that she was like, when I was pregnant, it's good you had the abortion, because like when I was pregnant, like all I was doing, I was just fat and I was just like, yeah, like actually like some of these scenes, it's hard, but like they mix it with humor, and I like how it's written. I like how it's written, not like as an insult to like make fun of like these things, but it just sells well. Yeah, because not a lot of shows could do that, you know, especially in this modern day age. Like some people just want to be like pro-activists, and like it feels corny, it feels cringy. And honestly, at the beginning of the show, I think the cringiest moment for me in the show is in season 1 with Hunter and Ginny, when they had like the whole race war kind of thing, where Hunter tells her like, for a black girl, well, Ginny is biracial, right? But like we see that Hunter tells her, what he tells her, he say, you're not even like something twerking, like you can't twerk for a black girl. And I feel like that was so stereotypical, like that was so cringy. Like, how you gonna tell the girl that? Like and then Ginny tells him, oh well, for Asian you are not that smart or something like that. But yeah, that whole scene was so cringy. Like, why would you say that? Anyways, yeah, so I really like the show for how it portrays tough topics, especially among teens and young people. Anyways, some standout moments for me in the show for the season would be when CPS take the kids away from Georgia. Oh my god, like I actually feel so bad for her. Like, yes, we know Georgia has done some horrible things. She is a murderer. She murdered the man. Yeah, we know she did it. We know she did it. We know she's guilty. She should be behind bars. But at the same time, you want to root for Georgia because it's like, damn, like life couldn't give you a break. Like it couldn't give you a break. Like you just had to do these things, you know. So, but that was really heartbreaking. Because if anything, what people cannot say is that Georgia is not a good mom. Like we understand she's a good mom. She may be twisted. She has twisted ways of doing things, but she is a good mom. Like, yeah, she is a good mom. I feel like Zion, you are up, because why would you do that? Like, why would you team up with Gil of all people? Like, just literally Gil. Yeah. Anyways, next season, next season, like, bitch. Anyway, next scene, Paul and Georgia's heated argument. Woosa. Instant panic attack. Like, I feel like I understood where Paul was coming from, because yeah, he was asking her to like just trust him. Like, so Georgia, you cannot bring that up on yourself, but at the same time, bro, I just feel like Paul, you took it too far. Also, too, she was wrong about the pregnancy. She was wrong about lying about that. But like, why would you raise your hand to do that? You know, like, I mean, you didn't hit her, but you hit the wall, and you know she has like a past with abuse, especially by Gil. Gil again. I hate saying his name. Like, I don't like that character at all. Anyways, Marcus. Yeah, Marcus' mental breakdown in front of his parents. Oh my god. Like, when he started to say he hates himself, and like, give these people an Emmy award. Even Georgia and Lynette's moment, I had to like sneak out in there. Like, yeah, they had a good moment too. So I feel like, yeah, everybody this season acted like rent was due. Maybe it was. Then I'm gonna move to like my theories. So what I terrorize my, that's a word. Anyway, so what I think might happen in season 4 and the direction of where it's going. Okay. Also too, at the end of the season, we see that Georgia is pregnant. Who we think the baby is for? Because we know that Georgia and Joe hooked up. We know that Paul, obviously, that's her husband, so they did, you know, hook up. But like, I mean, Paul is divorcing Georgia. He clearly wants nothing to do with her. And as much as so they don't have my notes for that. Say, whose baby is it? Paul's or Joe's? While I'll hate for it to be Paul's after seeing how he behaved this season, I do think it would work much better for an interesting storyline, obviously. I sit in here, but I like the drama of the show. Like, honestly, I feel like that would create more drama and more tension because, as I was now about to say, like, he wants nothing to do with her. But if it's essentially his kid, he'd have to deal with her. They'd have to deal with each other if she decides to keep the baby. I don't know. But I feel like, I'm feeling, again, a vibe that she would. And if it's Joe's, that would be great because Joe, I feel like he's perfect. Like, he doesn't have anything. I feel like also too, like in season 4 they may go into like Paul's, because we know like he's presented essentially as perfect too, but like I feel like he has a dark side to him, you know. So I feel like in season 4 they could probably go into like his law, like what's going on with Paul, like because Paul surprised me this season. Like I did not expect that. But anyways, but yeah, Joe's good too. But I feel like the reason why I don't really like Joe and Georgia together, I feel like Georgia is a lot and Joe is too good for Georgia. I feel like she's going to ruin him. Yeah. That is honestly why I know some people probably like, oh my god, like no, like honestly, that's my thoughts on it. Also to Marcus, as I say for Marcus' piece earlier in this video, I want Marcus to smile. I want him to actually heal. I want him to be good. Like, I feel like it's too long, bro. Like, he has been suffering for too long. Like, let this child get a ease up. Yeah, so I really hope rehab works for him. And, yeah. Austin, oh my god. My theory or suspicion of what is going to happen to Austin in season 4, it don't look too bright, honestly. It don't look too bright. It don't look too bright for him or Ginny. I feel like Ginny is going to turn into her mom a bit more because we see that in the later seasons where... Okay. We see that in the later seasons where... In the later episodes, sorry, I keep saying seasons, where basically Ginny blackmails Cynthia, and that is how the whole case gets flipped on its nose, and that is how Georgia is free. I mean, she did what she had to do, but at the same time, is it right? No. And we see that the court isn't always right? So, Georgia may legally not be proven to be a murderer, but we know she did those things. We know. Austin though, I feel like him and Ginny's relationship is going to be because like at the end, like you see how he said like get out my room and he was like screaming at her, like that was kind of sad though, because I honestly like their sibling relationship, but damn, that's gonna be tough. Anyway, that's about it. I feel like this season was 10 out of 10, like totally the best out of the 3 seasons. Season 1 was a bit cringy. That's why I didn't watch the show in season 1. But season 2, that's where things start to, you know, the plot thickens. And season 3, the season here, totally the best. Like, the writers did their thing. Yeah, so excited for next season, and that's all for now.